It's Gear Noir, the music gear show, with your host, Edwin Millheim, Chris Waters. Today's episode, viking1.
Welcome to Gear Noir episode 6. Sounds like sex, but not. 6. Okay, what are we talking about today? We're talking about different services that help us learn music, singing, different things like that. And we were talking about it, and you couldn't think of any.
Right.
There's so many out there. So the ones we kind of talk about real quick is not the definitive list by any means. In my research, as I looked other things up, there were just so many out there.
There's a lot of stuff out there.
So, and I'm sure, like with anything, there's a different level of what you could do, what you get out of it. So, got to do your own research, because not everything is geared towards everybody. I don't believe that. You see a lot of stuff that says, this is for everyone. And, well, sometimes it's not. I don't think it is.
Right.
Not for everyone.
Is anything for everyone?
Yeah, you got to kind of go out there, do your own research, decide, hey, this is the learning tool I want to use. First off, melodics. Melodics is for drums. Electronic drums, because you could actually plug it into your computer and it gives you different tracks and gives you different exercises. I've used it. In fact, I do use it because Bear doesn't always have the patience to try to train me, because I just can't get all 4 limbs going.
Yeah,
so
that actually sounds like something that, once I get that kit you gave me set up, I should probably try to learn on that, because I've always wanted to learn drums.
Yeah.
But my coordination with my hands and feet suck.
Yeah.
So
Bear and all you drummers out there make it look so easy, but it's not. You guys and gals are awesome. You guys and gals are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is a little, I don't want to say controversial, but Rocksmith.
That one I have heard of.
Yeah, Rocksmith's been around for a while. I love it. It's a game, but it's also a learning tool. Okay? And it used to be just a program. You'd buy the program, and then you would buy downloadable content, different songs.
Yeah.
And I bought so much in the catalog. I loved learning a lot of Nirvana.
Nice.
One of my favorites, Fall Out Boy, of course. Panic at the Disco, so many other ones, a lot of heavy metal.
Yeah.
But here's where like I say, not really controversy, but kind of sort of. It now has changed a couple years ago to online, and it's Rocksmith Plus, and it still teaches guitar, bass, and now piano. Awesome. But it is a subscription model, which many people kind of balked against, because it's like, what? Pay per month? But you got to figure it. The company had to have something that's sustainable for them,
right?
Because they're putting money into it. They're putting more money into it, but also making money off of it, because they're not doing this for you. They're not doing it for the kindness of their heart. They got to make some money,
right?
Okay. So now, the one thing I will say is, right out of the gate, they just had ungodly amounts of different songs. But here's the thing. It was like, you ever go to a flea market or the bargain bin and you're looking for stuff? and really deep dives. And there's some stuff you've never even heard of, and some songs that really didn't hit it per se.
Yeah.
Maybe had a small niche audience. That's what they did. They just sort of bombarded their catalog with just so many different songs. Now, this could be good and bad. If you really let yourself go and work outside of your box, there's a lot of stuff in metal,
Yeah.
country, and then there's also different country stuff as well, Latino songs, and just so many rock, pop, rap. I kid you not, it's really cool. But, you know, give it a chance, check it out. A lot of these programs that we're going to talk about, and we only have a few more before we introduce our guests, a lot of them have a trial period. Try before you fully buy and commit. So check them out.
And I will say this about Rocksmith.
Yeah.
One thing I thought that was pretty genius, because I think I remember at the time that it came out, all the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games were out.
Yes.
And I was thinking, those are good and fun.
But they're toys.
But they're toys, and you're not actually learning how to play the music. So when Rocksmith came out, I was like, this is brilliant. You know, a game where you can actually learn how to play music.
Very good point. Very good point indeed. Yeah. I think it was actually, I don't know, I may be wrong, but one of the first, if not the first, maybe, to actually do that, where you could plug in a real guitar, a real bass, and actually learn your instrument.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Next one is Drumeo. Weird name, but it is pretty awesome. It's very robust. You have your different drum training, just so many different things. Exercises, actual songs, and different things you could do with that and actually learn the instrument. You're not plugging anything in, but you're just like the next one I'm going to be talking about is Jam Play for guitar. You have videos that you watch and you play along with, and they have music notes and everything that you could see. And that way you're learning to read some music and tablature as well. But that's Drumeo. You can try them out if you're a drummer. As I say, the next one I'm talking about is Jam Play. That was one of mine. I really enjoy. I still subscribe. And Jam Play not long ago merged with TrueFire, and they do guitar and bass. And again, there's a lot, just a mind-boggling amount of different tutorials and different styles.
Yeah.
Okay, which is just really amazing. Fender Play is another one.
Yeah.
For guitar and bass, and like the name implies, from Fender.
Right.
I don't know if that matters or not. Just the brand name, but still guitar and bass.
And I want to say that I saw this on Google Play, if I'm not mistaken, for Android. So I believe it's also on your phone and tablet devices.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually doing stuff with apps for your phone and tablet.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. Let's move on really quick. And I know we glossed over things, but we didn't want to ramble too much, as we often do. So let's get on to singing. Okay? Yeah. Chris Lippe.
Chris Lippe.
Yes. Excellent.
He is
excellent classes. Excellent guy. Such passion when he is teaching and training. And one of the things, and understand, I have not done an exhaustive amount of research for a bunch of different places you can go online for singing coaches or voice coaches. I've seen a lot of them are just video. Now, what's interesting with Chris Lippe, he actually has some extra type classes that you could purchase and get on board with personal input.
Yeah.
Okay? And just like a real vocal coach that you would be paying for, which rightfully so, it's going to cost you a little more. Not a lot. It's pretty much standard for what you're buying, and the man is incredible. I'm not just saying that because
he's really good.
I have some of his classes, so I take some of his classes. So, and but check it out. Actually, you could check some of his free videos out on YouTube.
That's where I discovered it.
They're like not really snippets, but they're enough content to kind of make you go, I like this, and then you'll get on there. You can pretty much decide that way if this is for you, vocally and such. And it's not, although a lot of the classes that I've seen cater to extreme vocals.
Right.
Okay. It's not just for extreme vocalists. A lot of the classes pretty much open you up. Like we've discussed before, I'm not an extreme vocalist per se. I could do little short runs, and I've used them in a lot of our songs.
Yeah.
I can't sustain and do a whole song in extreme screams or anything like that. But Chris's classes have given me new tools to open up things for myself in the style that I do.
Hey, Chris Lipe here, singing without tension.
I see the sky. I see the sky.
We all want to be able to sing tension-free, and yet tension is one of those things that plagues every single singer. Sometimes it makes sense, right? Tension creeps in when we're doing something challenging with our voice. We're working on part of a song that's, maybe a bit out of our range, or we're trying to work on a new skill, and we're trying to be conscious of tension, but because it's challenging, the tension creeps in. It makes sense that we'd have to deal with tension there. But where tension has really gotten me in the past, with vocals in particular, is when I'm doing something that I believe shouldn't be a big deal, but because that tension was so present and my mind was focused on the fact that it was hurting, it actually started to affect my vocal performance. I had brought in muscles that I didn't need to be using because I was focusing so much on the music aspect. And that's where tension really gets us.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
The last but not least, like I said, this is not an exhaustive list, is Singio. Another singing one. Yes, yeah. Singio.
Great name.
And this one is the woman that you mostly see. I forget her name, unfortunately. Damn it. But she's very infectious. Not in a bad way, not in like a venereal disease way, but a.
I was just gonna say, not bad in a cough way.
Yeah. Only I'm not gonna check anything, but yeah, I'm always in the gutter. I'm sorry, but no, not in a bad way. Infectious as in she's so excited in her videos, and it's like you just get excited too. But check them out, Singio.
And it's a journey, it's a process, it's gonna take work. But one of the first steps that you can take towards that is just spending some time doing those vocal slides. Start high, go woo, and slide back up, woo. Another one of my favorite exercises for people that are really, really strong in their chest voice but are struggling to kind of get past that is singing the word woof. So think ooh, woof. And you could do an exercise like this. Woof, 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 woof. It feels ridiculous. Woof, 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 woof. You don't want to muscle it. You don't want woof, 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 woof. You want it to be free. Woof, 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 woof. And that freedom is what's going to help you to establish the balance that you need. And eventually you'll be able to add a little more and a little more and a little more to all of those notes till suddenly you wake up one day and you're singing way up high and you're not straining and it doesn't feel bad and it sounds amazing. So that's a couple things that you can look at doing right now if your tendency is to be a bit of a yeller when you sing. Now, if you need more, we've got absolutely everything covered in the Singio method. We'll link that up here for you below. Okay, so our next type is the choir singer, or somebody that might struggle to find their chest voice. So I might also call this no chest voice. Now, what this means is when you sing, you tend to be very light and breathy and airy, and you might struggle to really get strong, powerful notes when you sing.
Singio.
As we babble on, and before we move on, are you sure you can't think of any kind of training things, anything at all that comes to mind?
I know YouTube in general.
Yeah.
You can pretty much find whatever you want to find on YouTube, and that's music and non-music.
Yeah.
Recording,
Singing,
all kinds of
things.
Yeah, singing, playing guitar,
Yeah.
drums, you name it. You could find it.
But it's also like YouTube is kind of like the Wild Wild West, though. Back in the old days, because as with any of these, make sure you get something that if you're coming from nothing and you're just learning, make sure that they're giving you some kind of foundation.
Check out several different videos before you
especially
before
like
you settle on something.
Yeah, especially for singing and stuff, because you need those tools. You need that breath support. You know all these things to build on. And if they're not giving you that, then it might not be for you. Make sure you do a lot of research.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Guess who we have?
Who?
viking1.
Oh yeah.
Mysterious viking1.
viking1.
Yes. You know why mysterious?
Why is that?
Because he does not want his identity revealed.
Gotcha. I've always liked that mystique. I mean, even as I know when I first started with I Misanthrope, I actually wanted to keep my identity secret or whatever, but I don't think that happened too well. But for someone to keep it up and keep their identity secret, that personally, I just think that's really cool. I think it's very mysterious.
And you got to check viking1 out. That's Viking, and there's a number 1. His songs, his stuff are so freaking fire. Excellent stuff. I have a personal theory that I've heard the rumor that what happened was that he was changing guitar strings way back, and the high E string pricked his finger, and what he didn't know was the guitar string was radioactive, and it gave him the power of rock.
Wow, that sounds like what happened to Jack Black.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, kidding aside, here's viking1. We have to apologize. We are definitely keeping our promise to keep viking1 a mystery, and not anyone knowing his true identity. So we spared no expense and this all comes out of our pocket. We don't make any money out of this. So what we did was we did the standard, silhouette so you couldn't see who he is. Unfortunately, we eventually ran out of money to do the lighting on that.
Yeah.
So we had to fall back and do something else. We ran out of money on that and fell back and had to do something DIY, do it yourself. But here's Viking1 right here.
I mean, as far as being more or less anonymous, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll never play live. It's just a solo project, and I just like to keep to myself and just make music, man. I mean, if people want to listen, great. If not, that's okay too. I just do it for fun. So I'd rather not show my face or have much interaction outside of the music, to be quite honest. So we all have our own lives, busy, work, and all the kinds of things we have to do. And I just want to keep it about music. So what inspires me is, music has just been an outlet for me to let out emotion and stuff like that for years and years and years. And primarily I always played guitar, but recently took up singing and just decided to do the solo project. So everything starts with a guitar riff, and I just take it from there and put all the music together behind it, and then I just start writing lyrics and just talk about what I feel or what I'm thinking about. As far as the dream project, honestly, I'm more or less doing it, at this stage in my life. Got certain responsibilities and people to take care of, and I'd rather not be on the road and gone all the time. So I'm doing what I enjoy. This is very fulfilling for me. Keeps me happy. Would it be cool to play with some big band? Obviously, everybody kind of has that in their head. Dreams of being a rock star and whatnot. But in all reality, I'm doing what I enjoy. So. I don't find it too challenging to be my own critic because I play music that I like. So, if other people like it, great. If not, that's okay too. Like I said, I make it mostly for myself because it's all about fun, and I make what I like. It is cool that other people like it too, but again, it's mostly just about an outlet to let out emotion, and it's therapy. As far as being I send stuff to other people as far as mixes and things like that, and I always get opinions. So if I'm going to put out something, I want to constantly improve and put out the best product I can. However, outside of just sending people some sneak peeks and, hey, tell me what you think, I guess I'm my own critic most of the time. So I use DistroKid to distribute all my tunes, so it should be available on every major platform. Most people stream on Spotify for my listeners, a few Apple Music listeners. I can't really keep track of Deezer or all those other smaller ones, so if people listen on there, I appreciate you. But anyways, yeah, if you want to purchase it, that's awesome, but if you'll just stream it, works for me. My plan is to one day have a big enough following, maybe I can sell some merch and stuff like that on the side. That'd be cool. But anyways, I appreciate everyone that listens, and hope you enjoy the new tunes that are about to come out. Alright, so for equipment, we'll start with this ESP Flying V50. This is the LTD, again, V50. It's not one of their higher end models, but it's been a really good guitar for me. It's been upgraded with a DiMarzio X2N pickup. Those are very, very, very hot pickups. Used to be really into high gain, very hot guitars in my older days, as far as old death metal band days when I actually had a band. And I used to gig with it a lot. But as far as Viking1 solo project, I used it for one song. It's Break the Cycle off the first album I've done. It's a good sounding guitar, but I just don't use it as much these days. Alright, next guitar we have a ESP LTD Viper 301. I've had this guitar for probably somewhere between 5 to 10 years, and I bought it pre-owned, but they only made these guitars for about 2 to 3 years in the early 2000s. They have passive EMG pickups, and it's a pretty good sounding guitar. With those EMG pickups, it kind of has a natural fuzz to it, so, and they're not as hot as like say that DiMarzio pickup and that Flying V, but still great for metal. I usually play in G tuning, drop G, and I've used this guitar on many, many songs. Next up is my first extended range guitar. It is a ESP LTD M17. Wasn't sure if I'd like extended range guitars, so for this 7-string I went a little cheap. It's like $200 when I bought it several years ago. It's just a simple basswood body, kind of ESP, I think LH100 pickups. Has a 3-way switch there. Nothing fancy, but after years of experimentation with a cheap guitar, I've adjusted the action to where it needs to be so it has, you know, the right sound, and I play it anywhere from drop F as low as drop E, but these days it's usually in drop F, and I use a 70 gauge heavy string there. So anyways, I use this for songs like Machina. Okay, last but not least, if you haven't noticed, all my guitars are black, but we have the LTD EC258. This is an 8-string extended range guitar, and this is my most recent guitar I've purchased and my current favorite. They discontinued these recently, and I'm happy I was able to get one before they were all gone. But it has a mahogany body, I believe an ebony fretboard, and it's a very, very great sounding guitar. It has your 3-way switch. It also has the push-pull pot, so you can blend the single coils from your bridge and neck pickup, and I actually play it split almost exclusively because it sounds really badass with low gain applications. So I'm using this guitar for the newest album and songs I'm working on. Light It Up just came out recently. This is the guitar that was used for that. I'm using 84 to 85 gauge low strings here, so it is very, very heavy. I play it in drop C sharp and then drop C, so it's very, very low tuning, but it sounds freaking awesome. So you've seen all the guitars now. I basically just use these and go into BandLab and record. BandLab's a great tool. It's very cost efficient and it's cloud-based, so you can access it from any device. So like I record on my phone, and then like while I'm at work, you know, I'll do like your detailed mixing and stuff like that. They have drum pads and any other MIDI instrument you can think of on there. So that's what I used to record with. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a low-cost solution. You have to pay a monthly amount. It's like $15 a month. It's really nothing for what you can do with it. So I'm really pleased with it.